Business, however, doesn't always work like the textbook says. Things go on sale, things increase in value, and basically life happens. So let's look at what happens in a real-world situation. A trader buys and sells sandals. We're going to start by figuring out what they're going to ask. He buys 100 pairs of sandals at 20 dirhams each. His additional costs are 5% of the buying cost. He sells 80 pairs of sandals at 40 dirhams each and 20 pairs of sandals at 10 dirhams each. What is his total profit? So they're asking for our net income. Now we know net income is the total revenue minus the total cost. But in this case, our total revenue will be our selling price times the quantity. But then again, that's only for the first selling price. We have a second selling price times the quantity, and we will need to add those two prices together to find the full total revenue. Just like before, the total cost is what? The unit cost times the quantity, and our unit cost is the buying cost plus the additional cost. So let's start by breaking it down. We're going to start by looking at our buying cost. He buys 100 pairs of sandals at 20 dirhams each. So this is our buying cost. But it also gives us our quantity. Our quantity is right here and in these two places. It's a little bit different in those two. His additional costs, okay, additional costs are 5% of the buying cost. Okay, so 5% times the buying cost is our additional cost. So let's start with doing the total cost equation. That will be the easier of the two for right now. He buys 100 pairs of sandals at 20 dirhams each. So let's start by looking at our unit cost. Our unit cost is 20 plus, and how would we do 5% of 20? Okay, we get out our calculator. 5% times 20. So 1 dirham for each unit cost. Okay, so that would mean that my unit cost is 21 dirhams. So my total cost right here is the unit cost, which is 21 dirhams, times the quantity, which is 100. So therefore, my total cost is 21 times 100. So I get my total cost as 2,100 dirhams. So I'm going to write that up here, 2,100, and save it for later. Now selling price, that's another thing altogether, because we've got two different selling prices. So I'm going to say that my total revenue is going to be broken into two different strands. The first is the selling price of 40 dirhams. And that's my first selling price. The second selling price is 10 dirhams. And my quantity changes as well. So my quantity here, he sells 80 pairs of sandals at 40 dirhams each. So 40 times 80, and 20 pairs of sandals at 10 dirhams each. So far, so good? Okay, so that means that 40 times 80, if we get out our calculator, 40 times 80 gives me 3,200 dirhams. And 10 times 20 gives me 200 dirhams. So that would mean my total revenue is 3,200 plus 200, or 3,400 dirhams. So to figure out my net income, okay, my net income is 3,400 minus 2,100. Get out our calculator. 3,400 minus 2,100 gives me a net income of 1,300 dirhams. So, what is his total profit? His total profit was 1,300 dirhams.